Today, I'm gonna make full use of that 5.5-foot bed when I load up and deliver my old rooftop tent to my barber buddy, Austin. And here's the tent in question. It's a Roofnest Condor 2 XL, and it was on my Land Cruiser right up until it wasn't. See, it had a run-in with a low parking structure and was ejected onto the ground. And so it has some damage up here at the front, and the rails got a bit tweaked, but Austin is not afraid of some manual labor to get this thing fixed up and back onto his FJ Cruiser. Especially because I already got a replacement for review from iCamper, so Austin's getting this bad boy for free. Loading in the tent, it's not going to be able to just slide into the bed. Even though the shorter dimension of that tent is not as wide as the floor width of the Tundra, we have those wheel wells. So we'll need to go at an angle and lay on this furniture blanket on the side, and the tent is longer than the 5.5-foot bed, so this tailgate will need to stay down. To keep it secure in here, there are 4 tie-down points, and I brought some ratcheting straps, and there's this optional bed mat which provides some nice friction. Let me just set this side on there. The better plan was to use the longer dimension of the tent horizontally in the bed so that it can fit and I can close up this tailgate. We're in business. And here's where the tent's gonna go. On Austin's BA FJ Cruiser. Another awesome FJ, also with a rooftop tent, and it's got the Toyota Heritage badging on the side, just like the Tundra Rally Edition. That is so cool. Anyway, I've got the native navigation system directing me to Austin's place. It's easy to see on this giant 14-inch screen, and I can keep an eye on the tent with the bed cam. I have arrived, and I do believe, but let me just confirm here, yes, the tent survived. Hey crew, I've got the key to this 25 Toyota Tundra TRD Rally. And this week, we're gonna see what it's like to live with. Starting with the spacing in my narrower driveway, it's 16 feet wide by 19.5 feet long. I've got the Tundra parked just a couple inches in from the edge and at an angle to make it past the hedge near my garage door. It's parked next to my 94 Toyota Land Cruiser that is sitting right there at the edge, and with that spacing and thanks to the power folding door mirrors of the Tundra, I can easily walk between these trucks and wheel a wagon for our kiddos. The front end of the Tundra is hovering over the gutter and into the street a little bit. I've got these curb ramps set up here for vehicles with low clearance, not a problem for the Tundra. And at the back, you can see there is space to move it rearwards and give me more clearance up front, but either way, I'm not gonna make it past that hedge on the path to my front door. When first hopping in with the key fob on me, I can put my hand on the front 2 door handles to unlock all 4 doors. Getting up and in, there aren't any side steps, but there is a grab handle on the A-pillar to make it real easy for me to get in at 6 feet tall. Closing up that door. Hey cabin crew, thanks for joining for this day in the life in the 25 Tundra TRD Rally. In this video, I want to see what it's like to live with Toyota's full-size pickup truck that has just a little bit of off-road flavor. So let's start by firing it up. And let's go hear the twin-turbo V6 from outside the truck with the TRD Performance exhaust equipped to this TRD Rally Edition. Briefly, and that was a cold start, briefly it had a more throaty rumble, but then it quickly settles down to a very soft idle. So this is not going to disturb your neighbors early in the morning if you're leaving for a commute or coming back late at night. Before we get rolling here, I want to show you where I would put the items I bring with me every day, like my iPhone 15 Pro, which fits on the wireless charging pad, and there is some margin on the side for a bigger phone. I got my 32-ounce water bottle to fit in either of the front 2 cup holders. That's really nice. Then onto the console, if I slide this panel forward, you can see my slimline wallet. I can slide it back to have quick access to the console, or I can open it all the way up to see this giant cavity with coin slot storage. Not sure who's still using coins, but it's here. And then there is dedicated sunglass storage as well in this cavity up here, and it does have a protective liner for those lenses. So, I mean, it goes without saying, a big pickup truck, it's got plenty of cabin space for anything you're gonna bring with you. Now let me throw on my belts. pull the gear selector back into drive. So easy to use, so very intuitive. That will automatically release the parking brake, so I can roll on forward here. And looking left to make sure I am clear. I'm gonna turn the wheel, and just to be totally safe, I'm gonna bring up the front-facing camera to make sure that I'll make it past my neighbor's basketball hoops on my way out. I've had a later start to today than expected, in large part because my Land Cruiser's alternator decided to give up right when I was going to loan it to a friend. So I have already caffeinated, or rather decaffeinated, at home. I'm not on my way to a coffee shop, therefore. Instead, I'm heading to Costco for a charitable run on behalf of Families Forward. And while driving there, I'll share that it was really easy to find a comfortable position for me to drive this truck with those manual tilt and telescoping adjustments and the 8 ways of power adjustment for the seat, along with 4 ways of lumbar. I've got plenty of headroom above, the steering wheel is leather wrapped and it's even heated, and there are nice padded spots for my arms to rest on the sill and here on the console. Furthermore, the drivability is excellent from this twin-turbo V6, which develops boost low down so it easily picks up speed, and the 10-speed auto, which shifts smoothly. The brake pedal is no trouble to modulate, come up to that smooth stop. And then if I'm sitting at a light for a while, there's even an auto hold feature to give my foot a break. I also really like the tuning of this steering. It's not crazy over boosted, it has some feel to it, and so I know exactly where the truck is on the road. And the fact that it's not as wide as something like a Raptor means that it's easy to stay between the lanes. And helping that is the fact that you can have the lane keep assist turned on. So if you deviate ever so slightly, it's going to alert you to that departure and you can fix it, or it will actually fix itself for you. And I know you're curious what the turn signal sounds like, which is a very gentle tapping noise. Doesn't bother me at all. As for the turning radius, well, you're gonna wanna go a little further into the intersection because it's not that great. That was 3 lanes wide right there, and I did need all of those lanes. And if someone were to dare cut you off, they would be pretty bold, because full-size pickup trucks are intimidating on the road. Anyway, if they did, and you were to use your horn, they would hear pretty standard sounding horn. They'll get the message. And now that I have arrived at Costco, it's time to shop. And yes, I will be backing into a parking space. I feel like you drive this truck, you have to. And there is a nice, large, high-res camera view for me with trajectory lines, so I can make my way into the center of the space. And as I get close, I can even pull up this view to make sure my tires are just centered right between the lane markings, and the proximity sensor helps me as well, making this easy. All right, we've got this cart loaded up for a good cause. And quick shout out to Blaze. He's one of the managers of this Costco. He watches the channel and said hi to me today. Okay, let's see where this is gonna go. In the Tundy. Now the cheat code would obviously be just to throw everything in the bed, but I do have some perishables and I'd like to see if it would all fit in the cab. All right, we're off to a good start. I got all the small items and perishables here underneath the seats, which wouldn't be possible if this was the hybrid version of the Tundra, and now everything else is gonna go on top. I've got the heavier items loaded up on the floor and the light stuff on top. It fits. So after making the long walk back to return my cart, I can confirm, predictably, that the 25 Tundra is Costco approved. Welcome, Mobile Mama, to the... She's looking... Look at me. I'm announcing you. You have to look.
So I just thought, what would it be like if I was looking away?
Welcome the back of Mobile Mama's head.
Howdy, y'all. Thanks so much for having me.
Why does she go to Southern right away? I'm just the announcer.
Because this vehicle is made in Texas.
It is. The Tundra is made in Texas. Good little nugget of information there. What do you think of it?
I like it.
We've had it actually for a few days now.
Yes.
We picked it up from the airport on our way home from Lake Tahoe. Took all of our bags easily.
Well, you know, I like trucks. I like full-size pickup trucks.
She does.
So
She's begged me for like a Raptor or something in this full-size segment for years. Have I ever indulged? Never. I bought a Dodge Demon instead. Anyway.
Of course. But I like this Heritage Edition. There's
Yeah.
some cool colors going on. I like the stitching on the seats.
It does spice up the interior a little bit, because
It
otherwise
does.
it's all
It's
just
pretty bland.
black. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some plastic pieces for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well, okay, so I mean, this
places
is a
that you touch are nice.
yeah, it's a mid-level trim,
Yeah.
so it's based off the SR5, but the TRD Rally stuff for its $8,000 gussies that up a little bit
yeah.
with like the leatherette and the heating in the front seats, but it doesn't like go full bore.
No, but
Yeah.
I would pay for that.
I would too. So you're bringing a lot more appeal than the
It's
basic
got
SR.
character.
Character. That's the right word.
The seats are comfortable. There's a lot of
And
space.
big. Yes.
I'm a fan of that.
Mhm.
They're leatherette, right? But they feel
Correct.
They feel really nice.
It's a very nice leatherette, I will
Yeah.
say that. You do get the bumpier ride. Does that bother you at all, or you're like, man, it doesn't?
doesn't for me personally. I don't feel them as
Well, this
much.
one does have like more tire sidewall,
Right.
more that natural cushion. That does help.
Committing to the pickup truck life, and that's
And the
it's fine.
solid
You're going
axle
down the
and-
dirt road and you don't mind because your boots are gonna get dirty and you're just hitting the trail.
This is probably insulting to a lot of people, myself included,
I
even though I have no horse in this race. There's a lot of Tundra owners who never are in that sort of environment.
I know my best friend has one. She's just a mom who she doesn't go around.
This is why I'm
hitting
bringing the mom's
trails.
perspective, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But she loves the truck because it has a ton of space.
Dude, I mean-
and she looks awesome driving it. And
Yes.
I'm like, yeah.
I mean, that's seriously part of the appeal. I didn't mention it at all that the reason Mobile Mom is in the car, obviously because I like her here, I like her company, is
Thank
because
you.
we are on our way to Rezvani to go check out something pretty cool. And here we are, and there is the RR1.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, it looks cool. I have to do this again because the key looks so cool. Hey crew, I've got the key to this Rezvani RR1. This is a 992 generation 911 based homage to the 1976 935 race car. And that is why the front end looks like this. And it has the upright headlight design of that era of 911. It also has these fan design wheel covers for the 20-inch front, 21-inch rear wheels. They're center locking as an option on this vehicle. The body has been widened. The whole body of the car is actually made from carbon fiber, everything except for the doors. Those come straight off the 911. But it's longer as well, and it has this swept design to the rear end where it brings it in to that double layer wing. And then down low, it's got this pronounced diffuser and the turbine style center exit exhaust. This car looks so special. I know there's so many different customizations of 911s. This one has serious curb appeal. And then you go inside and we see some other unique touches like that Martini Racing livery on the fabric inserts of the seats, carbon fiber floor mats, and these plaques that say Rezvani Retro there, along with a unique steering wheel with a flat bottom and suede wrapping and shift lights on the top. Oh, and there is still the 911T's wood shifter, but it has been updated for the RR01 styling. So Rezvani says they're gonna make 50 examples of this car worldwide, and there are gonna be two versions. There's the RR600 that makes 600 horsepower, and that's based on the 911T or some other base Carrera. And then there's the 750 that makes 750 horsepower and is based on the 911 Turbo. Either way, we don't know the price, but probably one of those things where if you have to ask, you can't afford it. That's me. Can't afford it. All right, fine, let's do a cold start. Goodness gracious! That is awesome! All right, we saw the cool car.
It was awesome.
It was.
Now let's get some good food.
Sounds good. Here at the parlor. You'd think it would be hard to get excited about a salad.
But not this one.
This one is incredible. We've had it before, and
I'm gonna eat yours.
no, you. Why don't you just order what I order? This happens every single time.
I thought about it.
Okay, are you gonna keep eating it here, or should we actually adjourn to the truck?
The truck.
Let's go to the truck. And why would we want to adjourn to the truck? Because there's so much room.
And it's quiet. And
Yes.
as parents, we need that.
Yes, we definitely do. And we can have that open air experience with the sliding back glass.
Little breeze.
And it's good we have that because there are only air vents in the center.
If trucks added air vents up top, it would be over for
Game
all you
changer.
SUVs. It'd
Game
be over.
changer. That would
Do
be
it.
so nice for the car seat, for the adult back here. At least we've got a comfy armrest and cup holders aplenty.
Yeah, USBs.
And AC outlets if we wanted to work back here, and the seats are comfortable.
I like it.
This is nice.
I'd say it's a prime lunch date spot.
Yes, it is. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, we're touching the chicken.
Yes. It's what we do. The only question that remains is
will it fit car seats?
Precisely. And a good start is how wide these doors open. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
easy
awesome.
to load in the car seat. And for kids loading, well, they're going to need to be a little taller because
Right.
there's no side step on the TRD Rally. You liked the installation of the forward-facing car seat.
Right, because there's a tether on each seat on the back of it instead of one just attached to the center of the body of the car, which is typical
Right.
for full-size pickup trucks.
Yeah, you usually
So
have to go through the headrest and then get it over there, but this you just pull on this lever and then
it's on
huzzah!
the seat.
There we go. So
Yes.
let's get these in.
Let's do it.
And voila!
Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. And I felt like one because I didn't even break a sweat putting this in.
I understand now. Makeup. Got it. That's the connection. Ah,
you go.
right. Anyway, space. So Dolly's gonna have plenty of legroom behind my seat at 6 feet.
And I'm guessing we're gonna have plenty of legroom up front and here. We're
considering
gonna
you
be
got
good.
all that room behind the seats, let's go find out.
Yes.
In we go, and lounged
Plenty
you
of room.
are. Oh yeah, Tundra. This one's family approved. Today we're gonna have some fun with this truck, starting with a real-world 0 to 60 test. I've got my race box set up here to record. I'm in the sport drive mode, sport transmission setting, 4-wheel drive high. I am going to brake boost it off the line, build up the revs, let it go. Whoa, set the phone flying. And we're gonna get to 60 in 6.15 seconds. This is the base engine in a full-size pickup truck. That is seriously quick. Next will be a bit of soft roading to match this truck, because it's not a Raptor competitor. It's not even the top dog TRD Pro. It gets a mild grade of all-terrain tire sized just under 33 inches. It does get a locking rear differential and a Bilstein off-road tuned suspension, but it's not like a remote reservoir system, and it doesn't have crazy ground clearance. So as I go over this choppy, pothole-ridden surface, I do really feel those impacts, but it handles it and keeps me going forward. I am actually grateful it's not as wide as a Raptor or a Ram RHO right now, because I'm not worried about every bit of encroaching brush pinstriping against the side of the truck. The eroding tarmac has now turned to dirt and to rock, and the ride in the TRD Rally has become a bit more abusive. I am just getting beaten up inside this cabin. It's throwing me all over the place. The live axle in the back is kicking, the platform is bouncing, and these seats aren't doing a great job holding me in place. There's not much in the way of bolstering, so I just slop over the edges. On the positive side of things, it's a really good core workout. Just keep it tight, stay in place. Yes. And there's still lots of that power low down. It's not coming apart. I just have to keep telling myself that, because it sure sounds like it. To be fair to this truck, I did not air down the tires at all, and that certainly would provide a deeper layer of cushioning, but I don't think it would necessarily transform what I'm experiencing. So for the sake of sanity, I am lowering the speeds, and the truck seems much happier. So am I. And at least at lower speeds, I can appreciate some of the visuals this truck provides, like the pitch and roll here on the small TFT display. And if I hit the camera button here and then the off-road icon, then I've got a forward-facing camera. I can monitor where my tires are on the trail, and pitch and roll is repeated right there. But here's the really important question. for fun in the dirt. Does it donut? Let's find out. I'm in two-wheel drive high. I've got traction and stability turned off, and we're making some donuts. I can't see. Forward-facing camera. It can't see either. We're gonna wait. There's the road. Onwards! Here's another important question. Does this truck have what it takes to get you out of a tricky situation on the trail? This should be a pretty ideal simulation, some deeper moguls up ahead. In preparation to conquer those, I switched to 4-drive low, locked up the rear differential, and I've engaged the multi-terrain select system, choosing the mogul setting. So, let's give it a shot. This will be a good test of this truck's articulation. Dip in the front left tire very low there. And the TRD Rally trim does get a set of skid plates, just in case. Not having side steps certainly helps for clearance. And I'm not wasting any power at the rear with the locking differential. So this TRD Rally moves through easily. And if I lacked the throttle sensitivity for situations like that, there is also the crawl control system, which will automatically apply throttle like an off-road cruise control. That system works on descents as well. They call it downhill assist control, and I use the dial to select the speed at which I descend, taking my foot off the throttle and brake, and just focusing on steering. That makes this so stinking easy. So while this truck may lack the compliance of some others, it should still give you the confidence to take it just about anywhere you want to go. But what about where you have to go, which for most people is on the highway for a commute? Well, we know the Tundra has the passing power to get you to the lane of your choosing, all the more so when you go into the sport transmission setting. But when you aren't changing lanes excitedly, then is it good to coast in? Well, let's find out. I'm gonna go quiet for a second and listen to the cabin. Wind noise for sure. Louder road surface here. Some tire noise, but because it's not an aggressive compound to the all-terrains, there's not as much hum as you might expect. As a commuter, I can handle this for sure. And if I didn't want to hear that road noise, then there is the 9-speaker sound system and wireless Apple CarPlay, which is presented full screen here, so it's easy to find what I'm looking for, and the screen is fairly responsive. So now that I've found the right tune, I'm going to turn up the volume. Not sure what max volume number is, but feels about right. I thought that was solid. Not an ultra high fidelity sound system, of course, but it had a good range, it had nice bass, and it blocked out pretty much all the outside noise. And for the traffic heavy drive, you do have adaptive cruise control and steering assistance, so you can set that following distance, take your foot off the throttle and maintain the gap to the vehicle in front of you. And the steering assistance is not going to center you in the lane, but as I showed before, if you start to depart, it'll bring you back. It is time to refuel this 22.5 gallon tank. And this truck is EPA rated at 17 mpg city, 22 on the highway, and 19 combined, which would give us a fuel range of about 430 miles. But during my time with the truck, I've only averaged about 13 miles per gallon, and admittedly, that is with very minimal highway driving. And at current fuel prices of $4.55 for the required 87 octane gas, it's gonna cost me $102 to fill this tank, and no capless fueling means I have to work just a little bit harder. Well, crew, at the beginning of this video, I pondered what it would be like to live with Toyota's full-size pickup endowed with a bit of off-road attitude. And after quality time spent behind the wheel, I've been thoroughly impressed with this truck's adaptability to both fun and mundane real-world scenarios. Whether it's loading up the cab with Costco goods, hauling a rooftop tent to its new home, or commuting, the Tundra excels. And for some weekend fun, the TRD Rally uses its off-road goodies to scamper over obstacles and proceed, at a modest pace, over pocketed trails. At 62 grand as tested, it's not cheap, and my real-world fuel economy showed you'd be paying more for frequent fill-ups. But for ample space, creature comforts, and solid power with some styling upgrades, this truck does feel worthwhile. Ooh, but I'd better not say that too loud because Mobile Mama will be asking for a full-size pickup truck again. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this day in the life, and I will see you again next time.